Alright, today we're going to show you guys how to make some eggnog for the Christmas season. And to start with, I separated 4 eggs, 4 large eggs actually, so I have 4 yolks and 4 whites. And what I'm going to do to start with, I've got 1 1/4 cup of sugar here. And I'm going to mix this by hand into the egg yolks until we achieve all one color. So I'm going to go ahead and just dump that in. And I've got a wire whisk. And we're just going to gently break those egg yolks and get all of that sugar incorporated in so that it's all nice and pretty and all one color. And I've got my 4 egg whites here in our trusty KitchenAid. So what we're going to do is pour the egg whites into here, and we're going to crank this up a little bit high, medium high actually. And what we're going to do is bring these to a stiff white peak. Now that we've got the 4 egg whites to a nice stiff peak, as you can see in there, they're build up upon themselves when we pull out the wire whip, and they're holding their form real nice. Now what I want to do is I'm going to keep this on a lower speed, and we're going to fold in 1 1/4 cup of sugar. So I'm just going to, I say fold in, but I'm really just going to kind of sprinkle it in there. I don't want to dump it in, but I just want to kind of gently incorporate it into the stiffened egg whites. So just an even steady stream. And just keep everything looking nice and pearly in there and get a real nice even distribution. Alright, now we're going to drizzle in the egg yolks and the sugar that we mixed by hand. And I'm just going to get just a little stream. And as you can see, it's a really nice fluffy consistency in the sense that it's got a lot of air whipped into it, and it's still holding that stiff peak stage essentially. So we'll speed it up here just a little to get all of the egg white from the middle out. And that's exactly the consistency and the color we're looking for before we proceed on to the rest of the recipe. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and start to throw in the liquid ingredients for our eggnog. And I've got some milk here, I've got some heavy whipping cream. Now I divided the mixture of heavy whipping cream in half. 1/2 I'm going to actually whip by hand and thicken with the air as we whip air into it, and we'll fold that in at the very end. For now though, we're going to just incorporate the milk, the heavy cream. I've got some white rum here, and then I'll also have some whiskey as well. So this is the real deal as far as eggnog. Just drizzle in some white rum first, and I'm just going to do small amounts at the time, just a drizzle, because I don't want to shock our mixture too hard by throwing in everything all at once. However much rum or whiskey or whatever liquor combination you want to use, Malibu would be a good choice too. It's a coconut flavored rum. Whatever amounts of alcohol you want to use, it's your discretion, do so. Just be sure not to make it flammable in the sense that you won't be able to taste all the other great dairy products that you have within the drink itself. Alright, so we're back with the eggnog, and we have all of our liquid components mixed in, and I've taken the last amount of heavy whipping cream, and I manually used a wire whip and thickened it up and added some air to it and some volume. So all we're going to do is take this and just kind of fold it into the mixture, and I'm going to do just a little bit at a time. And this is part of the appeal to eggnog anyways. You've got this light fluffy liquid mixture, so you're actually adding a real velvety volume to it with the last remaining bit of heavy whipping cream here. And I'm just using a flat spatula to do this. So it's very pastry-like in that sense. And the ingredients that I poured in were cool, and my mixing bowl is actually a little bit cool. But traditional eggnog and the alcohol version, like we've done here, is really just served at room temperature. So we realize that some folks may be a little bit skeptical with regards to the raw egg products that are inside of the eggnog mix and the fact that it's served room temperature. Now you're more than welcome to just bring this to a gentle warm heat over a longer period of time, just in a saucepan would be fine, but just make sure it's a gentle steam that comes off of there, because otherwise all of these things are going to separate if the heat becomes too high. Again, if you are going to do this room temperature, the amount of alcohol that you put in essentially kind of cures and cooks the eggs. because the alcohol that we use is such a high alcohol by volume, which is rum and or whiskey or a mixture of the two, that it kind of takes care of that problem for you. All right, so we're ready for service on the eggnog, and traditionally it's served out of china cups like this one. So we're just going to stir this gently one last time to incorporate our whipped heavy whipping cream. Get all one nice color there. And we're just going to ladle this into our cup. And for a final touch, we've got some ground nutmeg here. We don't want to go too heavy on that. Just enough to give it a little bit of color and a little bit of flavor. And now we are ready for Yuletide festivities.